So for the vocabulary part of your final, you're going to be asked to take particular underlined words from the paragraph and produce the principal parts for them of the verbs. And so there are a couple of tricks that you guys can think about as you guys are thinking through what are the correct principal parts. Looking at number one, userant, one of the big clues is what little vowel do you have between there and the ending, between the root and the endings. So userant, for example, you see this E in here. So you can look at choices like eubade and right away understand that eubo, eubade, eubui, eubitus is most likely not a viable option because you have an E in the form here, yet an ARE in this option here. So you know that eubio, eubade, eubi, eubitus is not a viable option. So you're left with eubeo, eubere, usi, usus. And this is where derivatives come in handy. Userant means they had commanded. So the word that you have here is commanded, of which a derivative of usus is just. Again, that which is commanded. So ask yourself, does the fourth principal part, which usually contains the derivative in English, does that match up with just, usus and usus? So both of these, again, A and C, remain your most viable options. So the only difference here is that eubere, eubere, or eubere. Again, this is where you're going to want to go to the third principal part. Just as a good note, normally in second and third conjugations, the fourth principal part and the third principal part are going to look very similar. So this is where you can eliminate C because UB does not follow the same form as usus, where UC does follow the same form as usus. So you can conclude that A is the correct answer for number one. Similarly, you can look at pugnaverunt, see the vowel that's used for pugna, and then right away eliminate pugno pugnere and pugnio pugnere. You can eliminate A and C again because you can see that pugno or pugnaverunt has the A stem. Therefore, it's going to be pugno pugnare, pugnavi pugnatus. Again, following the third principal part using pugnav. Similarly, with fecerant, you know that erat at the end is always going to be attached to a third principal part. So you're looking for the third principal part, which is fec. So fecavi is, again, not going to be a viable option because it's not fecaverunt, it's fecerat. Facui, again, not following the third principal part seen here, fec. Therefore, we're left with C, feci. So, facio, facere, feci, factus. So instead of just memorizing every principal part that you can for the test, you can often just think through logically what would be the most viable option for the principal parts.